part of C.C. Capwell is now being played by Paul Burton.
Mrs. Lockridge? There you go.
Mr. Capwell, you're right here next to me.
Look, I'm over here if you need me, all right?
And, Daddy, you're right here next to me.
Ted, there's still time to move this dinner charade to the hotel restaurant. I'll take care of it. We don't have to go to such lengths to be so uncivilized.
Now you're talking about our oasis here, Dad.
I don't know why I allowed you to get me into this. It was Ted's brainchild.
We both decided this, Mother.
Hey, Cece, why don't you come off the mountain into the real world? Just get some nice fresh air down here. Good simple food. Nacho?
No thanks. Ted, let's get started, shall we?
Lincoln and I. We want to live together.
Kelly? Kelly, I want some answers, Kelly! Kelly, I want some answers! Why are you running, Kelly? And who sent you those flowers?
Dad, he knew I liked roses. Now, Peter, I want some privacy.
When's the last time your father tried to send you flowers?
I don't know. Ask him.
Kelly, what's gotten into you? Remember how it was? How we helped each other these past 5 years? Well, there wasn't anything we couldn't say to each other. I mean, now whenever we're together, your mind's somewhere else. Kelly, I know you. We've been together a long time. Don't you think I know you by now?
You have so many questions. Peter, I'm engaged to you. We have a wedding date. Doesn't that satisfy you? It's just like...
It's just what?
So much has happened so fast.
Only one thing has happened. Joe Perkins is out of prison. That's the only difference. You know, I don't think you ever loved me. I think I was always just second best.
No.
Or maybe you just tried to love me. Or you've been lying to me and you've had me fooled all these years.
That's not true, Peter.
You just wanted to use me and I couldn't see it.
I hate the way you're sounding.
No, I guess the joke's on me. But now I love you, Kelly. And I'm not going to give up without a fight.
You know, Peter, after Joe was arrested, your love was sometimes the only thing that kept me going. You were kind, you were understanding, you helped me. But now it seems like you've lost all that. That wonderful kind of strength. Now you're angry. You're full of accusations and suspicions.
Don't you understand that I've been trying to protect you from the man who killed your brother? And I want to keep your love, Kelly. But you're going to have to make a decision. Do you want Joe or me?
Vivre ensemble? No, Ted, if you'd stayed home, none of this would have happened.
Nothing's happened.
You're very young, both of you. You can't afford a place to stay.
I go on record here and now. I forbid this.
I mean, I don't exactly approve of this, but I'd like to hear them out. Now, Ted, what are you going to live on? Clams, speared fish, what?
Look, I can use some of my trust money to rent an apartment if I have to.
Dig into capital? Now, you've been raised never to consider that an option.
Look, I want to be with her, Dad. Now, I can get a small apartment in Isla Vista.
You are not taking my daughter to live there.
I want to be with them, Mom.
What about school?
We'll keep on with school, Mr. Capwell.
Right. We got this all worked out.
And you'll just live happily ever after. Life is not that easy, Ted.
What the problem is that Ted's a Capwell and I'm a Lockridge. Why should we be at war just because over 100 years ago, before we were even born, a Lockridge and a Capwell became enemies?
I mean, talk about old news.
It's still very much with us. It's not a small problem.
Well, there is a compromise that's possible.
Yes? And what's that?
We could still live at home, and I wouldn't have to dig in the Capitol, Dad.
We're just asking for a couple of changes.
Just a couple.
Yeah,
And what are those changes?
well, I've got an idea who's going to do the changing.
I got a few notes. Number 1. Lakin Lockridge is free to come to the Capitol residence at any time of the day or night. Ted Capwell is free to visit the Lockridge home.
You've taken that liberty once before, Ted, under less honorable circumstances.
In both cases, the visits are to be without being hassled by parents.
Or grandparents.
Number 3. Lakin and Ted are free to date whenever they want and stay out without any time deadline. Their judgment is to be respected and trusted.
And it's like a Bill of Rights.
May I go on?
Of course.
Number 4. The telephones and telephone messages between Ted and Lakin are not to be intercepted. Our privacy is acknowledged and respected.
Mother, do you hear that?
Do I take that to mean you're accusing me of eavesdropping?
Number 5. No pet pigeons will be killed and fed to the family. Number 6. Ted and Lakin are free to go to Los Angeles to spend the night with Danny's cousins or with Peach's Delight. And number 7. The subject of the family feud will never be mentioned again in the presence of Lakin and Ted. And number 8.
Just a minute. There's so many provisions in that document, it'll take a lawyer to figure it out.
Once or twice a year, the Lockridge and Capwell families will get together for dinner at each other's house. This is it. Lakin and I have agreed. The rest is up to you.
I suppose there are more distasteful choices, but I'd have to think hard to find them. The inmates are taking over the asylum.
Mama, let me help you with that. Not too tired? You work so hard, darling.
Oh, not any harder than you. Do you know that we finished this in time? Cruz is going to be hitting you up. Oh, good.
Well, at least you got a regular paycheck from the Pirates' catch.
Yes, but it was better doing stunts. It was so much fun, Dad.
Got more money doing stunts?
Not really, no.
Then it's best to be practical. Have you put any savings away?
$54. That is something.
Well, it's something for college anyway.
Oh, if I work after school and on weekends, I figure close to 500 by Christmas.
Well, that's something to shoot for anyway.
There was talk about Ted and me doing a stunt for David Hasselhoff's TV show. That would be a big check.
How realistic is the talk?
Not very.
I'm glad the Hollywood glitter didn't blind you from reality.
Well, you wouldn't let my head swell.
I try to prepare all my children for life. Now, Santana's doing very well. She's got the Capwell's interior design account.
Yeah, that's right. It's almost more work than I can handle, too. And I'm doing Cruz's houseboat.
I heard. Is that too much?
No. You know, I am enjoying both jobs. They're both exciting.
But you work so late at your office every night.
I want to make sure I'm prepared for everything, you know. I want it to be perfect, like Papa.
It will always be less than that. If you remember that and accept it, it's a good goal.
And we want to see more of you, sweetheart.
Oh, absolutely, yes.
All right, you guys. All right, let's not get carried away. You know, I think about you a lot more than you know.
Me too. You think about me?
You as little as possible.
So you're going to buy me a motorcycle when you get rich?
No way. I'm not going to buy you a motorcycle. They're dangerous. Besides, I'm going to have to make a lot more money than that.
So, who's your current boyfriend now, Tana?
I don't have a boyfriend.
Listen, I've been away all summer. I've been out of touch. Come on.
No, you stop it. I don't have a boyfriend. Stop it.
What about Cruz, huh?
What about him?
Well, I think you should fall in love with him and marry him. He's a great man.
I can't believe you said that.
He's a very good man. Your father thinks so, too, don't you,
Hey,
Ruben?
wait a minute, you guys. What is all this? I'll pick my own husband, thank you. And you'll know about it when you get a wedding invitation. Maybe I'll even let you meet him before that. Oh, that's Cruz.
That's the man you're going to marry.
Danny, will you be a little more discreet?
He's your future son-in-law.
Hey, that boy's got a spirit that won't stop, Rosa.
Hi.
How you doing?
Don't mind them. Some inside
I have to tell you something, Peter. I hope you'll understand.
The way you're acting right now, Kelly, I'm not certain I want to hear it.
Look, I don't blame you if after you hear this, you want to call off the engagement.
What?
I haven't been completely honest with you. I've kept some things from you. Oh, I don't know.
What, Kelly? Tell me, what is it?
I've done a lot of thinking about Joe lately.
I know.
It was my testimony that sent Joe to prison. Guilty or innocent, it doesn't matter. I sent him to prison.
Kelly, you've got to put that part of your life behind you now.
How do you think it's been for me? Living with that, putting the man I loved behind bars.
He deserved it.
I used to think so, and I tried to believe that. Even so, Joe spent 5 years of his life in prison, and I have to live with that.
Kelly, you're talking about the man who killed your brother. Channing would be alive today if it hadn't been for him. Has Joe had a problem living with that?
If he was still angry at me, or if he still hated me, it might be easier. But he still cares. He's forgiven me.
He's forgiven you? He killed your brother. Have you forgiven him?
Peter, I took away 5 years of his life. And he still cares for me. How could he?
Kelly, don't fall into that trap.
I knew you wouldn't understand.
Kelly, I understand. I do. Look, I told you. And I want you to believe that you can tell me anything. I'll always love you. I'm sorry if I get angry sometimes, and I say things I don't mean. I know it just makes things worse for you.
You've put up with so much, Peter. I've used you. I didn't realize it, but I've used you to shield me from my own feelings. You helped keep Joe away, and you helped keep him off my mind. And I did, Peter. I did learn to love you.
Did?
I still do, but I feel responsible for Joe.
Kelly, don't talk about Joe anymore. I don't want to hear his name again. Just let me hold you. What's that? A ring? Where did that come from?
It's on the house. I thought you'd like a drink.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
So how's it look to you?
Looks like you're going to help us move.
Warren.
I don't like the looks of that.
So chin up, little sis.
She's trying to get Warren on her side.
I thought he was with us.
You don't know Mother.
Look, I don't want to get in the middle of all this. She's got her own mind.
She is brainwashed, and it's partly your influence. You are completely responsible for anything that happens to her.
Me?
You are her older brother, and she looks up to you.
So?
What kind of an influence are you with your lifestyle?
Hey, there's nothing wrong with my lifestyle.
Well, if a life of self-indulgence and no goals is an acceptable lifestyle, then I guess there's nothing wrong with it.
Oh, give me a break, all right?
I just hate to see her corrupted by her own brother.
Well, what about her mother? What's she learning from you? You're the woman she's supposed to look to for a model of behavior. What about you?
Your innuendo is out of line.
That's the way I see it. I have eyes, and I have ears.
Don't you say anything you'll regret, Warren.
Are you going to try to tell me that when you were 17, you wore a halo? Give me some credit.
Don't talk to me like that.
As you so often remind me, Mother, I'm your son. I've learned a lot from you on how to fight guerrilla style. So tell me, how did you compare to Lincoln at her age? Were you a nicer girl?
It was a totally different situation. I didn't grow up with money and privilege. You've been given all the privilege there is. I had nothing. So, of course, Lakin and my youth were different.
Look, I see other kids all the time here. You don't know how lucky you are. You ought to be proud of her. She knows what she wants and she's going after it.
You know, Cece, I think it was your son that put this whole thing into my daughter's head.
Quite the contrary. She's the instigator. He never dated much before this.
No, I think Lakin was always a very cooperative girl. Perhaps a trifle too cooperative. She was gentle and kind. I think she's being used in all this.
My son has been raised with a code of honor. I'm sure he's trying to do the right thing by that girl.
Well, why don't we put our own animosity aside in favor of our children, huh?
Heritage can't be ignored. She has Lockridge blood in her veins. She's inherited a temperament and a sense of values that is totally repugnant to me.
What happened?
Well, I think you guys have got problems.
Ted, Lakin.
We have come to a difficult but unanimous decision.
Well, you just walked right into a family joke.
Sounds like I was the punchline.
Hey, wait a minute. Where are you guys going? It's early.
Got to be up early. Cruz, you never looked better.
Thank you. Real good to see you.
Come and visit us, dear.
Where did you go?
Don't forget, you promised next time there's a fire, I can go. Yeah, you bet, Hollywood.
Come and sit down. I mean, please.
We gotta leave, darling. Come on.
I'm sorry, sweetheart. We really do have to go.
Oh.
I've got some time.
No, you don't. We need you at home.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Oh.
Well, these are really lovely. I like the colors that you pick.
Well, I'm glad. I wanted to apologize for being so rude.
Well, I was hoping you'd change your mind.
Let's just say I should have kept my mouth shut.
Mm-hmm. You're right. You should have.
Yeah, I thought about it later. You are a grown woman. What you want to do with your own life is your business.
Well, that's right.
So please accept my apologies.
I appreciate it.
Now that we got that out of the way, I'm going to ask you a question that's none of my business.
Oh, you are very consistent.
Can you stand there and tell me you're not chasing after the Capwells?
We work together. I do business with them.
That's what you call making a play for Cece? And turning yourself into a Sophia look-alike?
Why did you just apologize to me if you're going to persist with this?
Tell me you're not doing it. I'll believe you.
I don't have to be anybody but Santana Andrade.
That doesn't quite answer the question.
What is so wrong if Cece likes me? I want him to like me. It's good for business. You know, if you want to read more into it, that's your problem.
I see. So we're talking about an employer-employee relationship. Kind of a platonic type. Santana, maybe you don't know how you've changed. You're not yourself. How much research have you done on Sophia anyway? Are you half Sophia now and half Santana, and next week 3/4 Sophia?
What's the point?
How far are you going to carry this game? She was a woman who enjoyed all her senses, I've been told. You hear about that? Is her most private life going to be part of your routine now?
How dare you?
To KC from JP, July 30th, 1979. Joe gave you this, didn't he? That's the date you two were planning to elope. How did you get this? Have you had this the whole time you've been with me?
No, it came tonight with the flowers.
Oh, and I thought you said your father sent the flowers.
Joe gave the ring to me last night, and I tried to return it to him.
When?
After you were asleep.
I see. Well, the truth isn't pretty, but it's necessary.
I'm glad it's out in the open.
You know, I think I've avoided listening to the truth as much as you've avoided telling it to me.
Peter, I gave it back. Back! I didn't keep it.
Well, you must not have been very convincing, Kelly, because you still have the ring. Okay? I got some truths, too. I didn't want to tell you this, and I hated keeping things from you. But I thought it was best, Kelly.
All right, tell me.
Kelly. I was the one who told Channing that You and Joe were planning to elope 5 years ago.
You did it?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I thought it was wrong.
How dare you,
Kelly,
Peter?
listen to me. Look, I was your teacher. I watched you grow from a child into a woman. I thought then, and I do now, that marrying Joe Perkins would have been a big mistake for you.
I can't believe this.
Kelly, look. You'd have been throwing your entire life away. You were so young. You had your whole life ahead of you.
Why didn't you come to me and see how I felt? It was my life!
But you know that it would not have lasted. Your father would have seen to that. He would have had it annulled.
You don't know that, Peter.
Kelly, I was only thinking of you.
Leave me alone. Will you get out?
Kelly, I can't leave you
Will
like
you
this.
get out? Just get out, Peter!
Kelly?
Get out of here!
You better just go.
Listen to me. You're the only family I have here now. You, your parents, your brother and sister, that's it. I care about you all, a lot. I love you all. I want to see good things happen to you, all right? Now, I know that Cece's money and the power it's given him, they're very tempting.
What does that mean?
Just suppose for a second somehow you might share in that power.
What kind of diatribe is this?
Have you thought about what an awkward position you'd be in relation to your parents? Your mother's a maid in the Capwell house. You'd have to be telling her when to make the bed and dust the windowsills. Maybe you'd like that?
You know, that's an awful thing to say.
Every child thinks about it. I remember when I was a kid, I used to be outside in the morning on Saturday. I'd be playing basketball. My father would come run out the door and say, "Cruz, go wash the car." It used to drive me nuts. I could never boss him around. Now, your father's a gardener at the Capwell mansion. If you were living there, he'd be your servant.
I happen to love my parents. A lot. And before I would let them be my servant, I would be theirs.
Yeah, you probably would. That was a stupid point to make.
Yeah, it certainly was.
Look, I'm not trying to be a jerk. I just don't understand what you're doing. Oh, no. Wait a minute. How could I be so stupid?
Just save it.
You're going after Cece, the father, because of the son, because of Channing Jr., right? You think you can have Channing all over again through his father. That's it, isn't it?
The part of C.C. Capwell is now being played by Paul Burke.
I have one thing to add. I'll abide by the rules as agreed, reluctantly, except one. Under no circumstances will we have dinner together once a year or ever.
You think I'm upset? Wait till Mix Lockridge hears this.
Yeah, your grandmother's gonna have to make her own treaties.
And as for you, dear boy, A's and B's in school. And if you fall just once from the straight and
Don't
narrow,
tell me. Let me guess. Military Academy.
you know it.
And that goes for you too, Missy. You don't toe the mark, there are plenty of good schools in Switzerland.
Well, it sounds like you two are on parole.
Je sais à quel point Channing et toi vous vous aimiez.
Oui, alors?
C'est injuste d'essayer de le retrouver dans son père.
Écoute, ce que je fais, c'est mon affaire. Ça ne te regarde pas, ni toi ni personne, que moi seule, et je ne veux plus parler de Channing.
Moi, je commence à comprendre un peu mieux ce que tu cherches.
Tu n'as rien compris du tout.
Si, au contraire.
Je te considérais comme un ami, Cruz.
Mais je suis ton ami.
Non, tu n'agirais pas de cette façon.
Tu seras surprise. Je connais la force d'un premier amour. Jamais on ne peut l'oublier. Je pense à ton chagrin.
Je ne pleure pas pour avoir ta sympathie. Tu as raison en partie dans ce que tu dis. C'est pour ça que Je crois que je n'aimerai plus jamais un homme comme j'ai aimé Shani.
Mais tu ne peux pas en être sûr, les choses changent.
Cruz, nous avons dû cacher nos sentiments. Et nous devions nous voir à la sauvette. On avait peur que nos parents découvrent la vérité et que...
They were going to stop our relationship. Everything we did was a secret. Even all the letters that we wrote to each other. I don't want to think about this.
Those letters could help Joe. He found some at Channing's. Could he see yours?
No.
Even if they might provide a clue that could help improve his innocence?
No, absolutely not. You might think that Joe is innocent, but I know he's not.
Let me tell you something. When Joe searched Channing's room, he found a few letters and part of a journal.
I know that he broke into the Capwell house. That's an unthinkable thing to do.
You said there were many letters. He only found a few. Do you know what happened to the rest of the journal?
How would I know? Why did you tell Joe to break into somebody else's house? I hope he gets caught.
Did you and Channing have a meeting place that nobody suspected? Someplace you could go...
I don't want to talk about it.
Someplace you could go to be alone together. Santana, please tell me.
There was this old gazebo between the Lockridge and the Capwell's estate. I used to go there all the time. It's all overgrown. Gardener's forgotten it for years.
Could the letters be hidden there?
Channing would have found a better place than that.
Maybe not. You never know.
Cruz, that's for you only. I don't want you to tell anybody. Nobody. I have never told anybody this since Channing died.
Look, I'm not gonna lie to you. I told Joe I'd do whatever I could to help him. This sounds like useful information, and I am gonna tell him. But I know how hard it was to talk about it. Well, I appreciate it.
Rosa,
I'm calling to ask a favor. I'm worried about Kelly. I shouldn't have left her, but we were having problems, and she didn't want me around.
What's wrong?
Well, I just think she shouldn't be alone right now. We had a disagreement. It was very unpleasant, Rosa. When I left, she didn't look well.
I'll get right over there.
C'est tout de même trop fort. We didn't have to knuckle under. Blackmail, that's what we gave into. I knew we should have held out. But as usual, what could I do after you undermined my authority? You gave in. Anything to avoid a fight. And they walked all over us. I'm talking to you.
Yeah, I heard you, but I've got something more important on my mind right now. Why don't you go find Breeze? I heard him barking a while ago. He'll sympathize with you.
It's very amusing. Obviously, everything comes before your family.
This is for my family. Yes.
Oh, Mike, I took a chance you'd be working late. This is Lionel Lockridge.
Yes, Lionel. Now, I've been studying this damn property deed. Here's the way I read it. The first claim to that beachfront property really rests with the Lockridge family.
No, Lionel, I'm afraid you're wrong.
The late owner did make an effort to deed it to the Lockridges, but the transaction was incomplete.
I mean, there's no purchase agreement or gift tax in evidence. The transaction won't stand up in court, Lionel.
There isn't even a legal signature to indicate that the deed was signed over to the Lockridges.
I mean, the man was Mace's godfather. He was a friend of the family.
Well, that and a quarter will buy you a bus token, Lionel. Nothing else.
I'm damned.
Oh, gentlemen, come in. Lionel, dearest, would you please show these gentlemen your collection of Elizabethan chastity belts while I make the bedroom presentable? I'll be right back.
Oh, come on in, fellas. Come on in. Bless you.
What's it?
There's no price that could possibly repay you.
Price. We charge $40 an hour. Of course, you can still find it for less, but probably for more.
Oh, no. I mean, there's no way that we can repay. Only heaven can pay you for what you're about to do.
Excuse me, sir, but I don't quite understand what you're trying to say.
Oh, I'm sorry. What I'm trying to say is that no professionals would do this. I'm glad to see that you two are very enlightened, but no other masseurs would do this for Augusta.
I can tell you we're enlightened. We've done all kinds.
You can bet on that.
In fact, they when I try to explain on the phone what's wrong with Mrs. Lockridge, they won't even let me explain.
What's wrong?
Now, it's something that's perfectly under control. There is no need to lose a nose or an ear or anything else. Not anymore. No need. I mean, you might, but there's no need because it's under medical control, sort of.
What?
Jungle rot.
Jungle rot?
Yes, an exotic form.
Exotic?
Yeah, terribly. No, I'm not. Hey, noses, ears, minds! But it's okay. It didn't affect me. See, I only caught it once! And it's no problem. It's really no problem, guys. Don't worry about it, huh? Right? Listen, you forgot your table, guys? You got your table? Excuse me. Hold that for a second, will you, honey? I pay you! I have to pay you! I have to pay him! Stop! Please. Listen, don't worry. You can take your table, guys. She only touched it here, and you can put a little vinegar and water on that, a little disinfectant, not to worry. Right? Right! No problem. I'll send you a check.
No problem. You keep the table. No problem. No problem.
What are you doing?
Where are we? The motel where we spent the night. Now, don't blame me. The car, it just drove itself here.
Oh, look.
Oh, no. For sale or lease?
It's closed?
Yep. Yeah, we must have been one of the last customers here.
I love this place.
Yeah, me too.
I wonder what happened.
Who knows? That wasn't the spiffiest place in town. I like you just as well inside a car. Mm-hmm. At least we have some privacy here.
It's been quite a minute.
Yeah. I'd say so.
This is private property. You're trespassing. Sorry, but you'll have to leave.
Yeah, thanks, buddy.
No problem.
I was so lucky we knew.
Wait, Chris, come back.
What's the problem?
I just don't like you telling Joe Perkins what I just told you in confidence.
There's a killer out there. He's walking around free. Channing's killer. He could have an eye on you. He could be watching you get in your car and go to work every day. He could be following. He could be living next door to you.
You're just trying to scare me.
You're damn right I'm trying to scare you. Sometimes it makes good sense to be scared.
I don't want anybody to read what's in those letters.
You haven't seen him in years, Santana. What does it matter if we look at him now?
There's more than you know. There might be something in those letters. I don't want anybody to read them. No one.
Well, you're going to have to trust me. If we find any letters, I'll return them to you. I swear.
Wait! Please. Don't go there.
Santana, I have to.
her mind, Rosa?
Your car keys?
Yes. Every time I want to use the car, I go through this.
Do you think you should be driving right now?
Yes, I do.
I don't think so. Let's talk.
No, I can't.
Kelly, I love you.
I love you too, Rosa, but I'm not in the mood to talk right now.
Oh, going somewhere?
Yes.
Where?
Away from here.
Wait. Hold on, sis. Look, I think I better stay in tonight.
No, don't change your plans.
No, that's fine, okay.
I'll call you tomorrow.
Okay.
It's like old brother Ted got home just in time. You want to sit on the bed? Feel like talking about it?
No.
Feeling angry?
Yeah.
At me?
No, at Peter. At the world.
You know, I'm pretty good to talk to. And once you said I was the only one in the family you could talk to.
I can't now, Ted.
First the shoes come off. Remember? You used to say you could think better in bare feet. Here. Well, go ahead, cry it out. You've been holding it in for too long.
I'll be all right.
Of course you will. Now, you want to tell me what happened?
No.
You don't have to.
What kind of money are we talking about? If it gets to auction, that is.
Whatever it takes to outbid Capwell. I know that 50 prime beachfront acres don't come cheap these days.
Not easy to come up with that kind of money, Lionel.
Well, that's why you're here. Figure out a way.
Creative financing.
See, the Lockridge holdings, even though they're very extensive, they're not liquid at the moment. I need the cash.
Lionel, my friend, if we're up to me, we do it on a handshake. But I'm not alone in this.
You know the collateral's worth 3 times what we're asking.
It's the board who decides. I can't release that kind of money on my own. I'll be glad to present your request to the board at the next meeting.
All right, when does the board meet the next time?
Next week, Monday.
No, I've got to get it approved.
Take into account the fact that over the last decade, the Lockridge assets have shown a loss, not a gain. I'll be glad to go over the accounts with you any time.
Well, perhaps another bank would be interested in handling it, huh?
I'll see what I can do.
Be sure you do. I want that loan.
Santa, what are you doing here?
Mama, I just want to go out back for the minute.
Couldn't it wait till tomorrow?
No, I have something I have to look at.
What?
I can't tell you. It's a secret. Trust me.
Have you seen your sister?
Yeah, she's napping.
Rosa told me she was very disturbed.
Well, she's right. I never saw her quite this way, Dad. I couldn't get her to talk to me. You know, she said something about a big hassle with Peter.
Oh?
Yeah, look, maybe you better go talk to her.
Kelly? Yeah. Where is she?
Isn't she here? Kelly?
You sure she didn't get up?
I don't think so. Kelly!
Where can she be?
Kelly! Kelly!
dreams.